We are the Emerging Business Issues team from Pittsburg State University. I'm Daisy.
And I'm Tanner.
And today we are discussing the pros and cons of media bias and the impact it has on businesses in our ever-changing world. Starting from the very beginning, media bias has been in effect. Yellow journalism is news with little to no legitimate or well-researched information while using eye-catching headlines. This term was coined in 1895 with the beginning of the battle between the two major newspapers in New York City, The World and The Journal. This was a way for readers to be prompted to purchase a certain newspaper depending on what the headline read. Oftentimes, a headline did not always back up a story clearly inside the newspaper.
Take a journey with us back to 1898. In this year, a war was pushed between Spain and the United States when a battleship named the Maine sunk from an explosion. Two writers, Hearst and Pulitzer, published articles alluding to a plot to sink the ship and cause tensions for war. Flash forward to February 2004. This day, social media platform Facebook was founded. Facebook is used to connect people all over the world through posts, messaging, pictures, and games. But what we often fail to realize is that Facebook is a form of media and also a publicly traded company that you can buy into on the NASDAQ. Like all businesses and forms of media, Facebook has their own agenda.
Facebook has a form of yellow journalism in a more modern term called clickbait. Clickbait has one purpose, and that is to encourage users to click on a link or a specified web page. Facebook users will sometimes purposely put false information on their page relating to what biases they might have. Facebook allows users to have freedom of speech on their posts, but is this always good for other users to see? A lot of social media posts can change one's view, and most of it can even be false information. Another popular platform for clickbait is YouTube. YouTube is known for adding a very intriguing title to a video just so viewers will click on it. Turns out the topic of the title might not even be mentioned in the video. YouTube creators are working to get views, and they will do whatever it takes to get them.
So how do we know what information is true and what media bias is positive? YouTube is not different from the perspective of Facebook because they operate as a business and pose as a neutral platform that can influence you. Positive aspect of media bias involves social and news media. Social media gives us the ability to express our creativity and allows us to be friends with whoever we want around the world, post nearly whatever we feel, and gives us a platform to help others. It's also easier to spread awareness on important events with the use of social media. If there is danger or in the event of an emergency, social media will most likely have information on the hot topic. For example, the fires in Australia gained worldwide attention. When fires broke out, tweets came in, Facebook posts were shared, and photos were posted to Instagram, informing the world what it could do to help. Whether it's companies donating money or relief, if someone likes and shares a photo, or an individual donating their own money through social media, we also have the ability to check in when disaster strikes and to let our friends and family know we're okay. This is a very positive feature our current social media platforms provide.
The next advantage to media is in the news. News media gathers information and presents it to the public. Whether it be local news or worldwide news, the information shared on these outlets reach a lot of people. News media also gives a platform to exemplify good deeds by fellow citizens. This leads to positive feelings of viewers and everyone involved. Actions often cause a chain reaction, so when news outlets shed light on people doing good deeds, it will hopefully cause others to want to do the same. Even though the media sheds light on important issues going on in our country, we need to be careful with what we take as the truth. Many times in our daily lives, we take biased and opinionated articles and read them as if they were hard news. This leads us to one of the disadvantages of our argument. It can be hard to determine what is factual and what is opinionated, especially with news sources pushing their views on people. For example, CNN displays their opinion-level news articles on their homepage alongside their hard news articles without specifying which is which. We have personally seen this play out with the recent event of the coronavirus. The media displayed a lot of information that caused people to panic due to lack of information. There have been stories posted by people who are neither medical professionals nor leaders of any kind. This causes people to not retain the correct information on the news platforms.
This can be especially misleading when we as humans are naturally attracted to eye-catching headlines. The typical reader only reads an article for 10 to 20 seconds before moving on to the next. This leads us to piece together information with little to no validity. The The media can also misinform, and this can be detrimental since users can easily share articles to hundreds of friends with the click of a button. But as a team, we have acquired a few solutions to handle the recurring issues of media bias. The first is to fact check. There are fact check websites like factcheck.org and politifact.com. These sites have a good reputation, and we believe that if these sites were utilized more often, that the negative effects of media bias and their effect on business would have a lesser impact on social media and its users. It is a good habit to read a post or article with a very intricate title and piece it apart until you have come to an informed conclusion on the topic, especially before sharing.
Next, we recommend following international news about the United States. This may seem a little strange based on politics or other important news, but if the U.S. is trying to promote themselves, of course there will be biases. When listening or reading international news about the United States, there's a higher chance that the information will not be skewed by biases because other countries would have no reason to participate in that.
In conclusion, media bias is something we'll be dealing with in the foreseeable future. If we are able to learn and understand biases and how to detect them, our opinions will not be shifted by media bias. Thank you for your time.